That was traumatic. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Paranormal Hot Seat. We need to know, can you hear us? Can you see us? Are we looking a little darker tonight? What's going on? Basically, this room was used for an interview for some students this evening, and we took down a lot of the stuff, and then I had to put it all back, and I can't find half of it. As you do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide Steve across here, and I'm going to go and fix up the lights.
Oh, it's like Connect 4.
There you go.
Hi. Hello.
Do us a favour, everyone, as we're waiting for more people to come on, please share this on your page. At least that's one extra page we get it on.
I feel the light.
And yeah, maybe we can get some new people to come on, some newbies. Hello, all of our beautiful followers. How are you this Thursday evening, just before Christmas?
That's before Christmas.
Easter.
You've got the wrong. You got the checkout date, not the
Jesus time.
You got your check-in and check-out wrong.
Oh, I have.
You'll have to sit back here because I'm confused people.
You can be the.
Oh, I can be the rose.
You can be the rose between the two.
That's going to keep discombobulating.
I know, everyone's going to be stopped.
I've got to come across a little bit. I've got to see, this chair's a little bit big for this. All right. Yes, you can see us. You can hear it. A little dark. I think that might have fixed it.
I think we're bright as.
I think also I've got a few issues.
Ooh, what happened there?
I pressed a button.
We went all tan for a second. We looked like the president.
Yeah, but no, we're not allowed to talk about that. People get upset if we talk. Now we're lagging.
I'll talk about him. I'll talk about him. It's my job.
Anyway, welcome to the Paranormal Hot Seat. I am Anne Rakovich, paranormal investigator and owner of Oz Paratech. You.
Hi, I'm Renata Daniel, owner of Newcastle Ghost Tours and part of the Frightfully Good team and True Hauntings podcast, of course, which we both do. And we have had our 1 millionth download. Thank you very much to everyone who follows us. And here we are to spread the goss on the paranormal, the paranormal hot seat tonight.
Yes, it's warm.
Oh, it's boiling.
It's a hot cross seat.
I'm looking like a hot mess tonight. I've had the grandkids all day. You know what it's like, school holidays. Yeah. So it's a different camera. I had to dig out my old camera and the old microphones because I couldn't find the base of the one that I love. It's somewhere.
Such as
amongst the things.
Such as life, as Ned Kelly would say.
Build a bridge and get over it.
I thought you'd say ouch.
Rosemary would like to know, do we have any dates for Maitland Jail yet?
No. Take your issues and ring Maitland City Council.
Spam them.
Tell them you want the ghost tours back at Maitland Jail. You want the jail open, let's face it.
We all got the black T-shirt memo.
We always get the black T-shirt memo.
Oh, dear. Yes. We always wear black.
We were doing an interview, Catherine, before this with some beautiful uni students that were doing a documentary on the paranormal for their, whatever it is that they have to do, some sort of a documentary an assessment that they were doing. So,
and they bought us chocolate.
They did.
And then Steve bought us chocolate too. I feel like such a bad friend now because, I must still have the green screen on. Maybe that's what it is.
Happy Easter, everyone.
I will find
the
that setting and turn it off.
And if you're coming to one of our tours, we have a few spots left for Tocal. Okay. We have a few spots left for Tocal tomorrow night, and Wallaby is chockers. It's full.
Chockers. Chocolate bunnies or eggs?
This is how I'll work out whether the green screen is still on.
Oh God, I think it's just it's just a tint issue.
No. It was the green screen that was on, but yeah, I think maybe it's just lighting. I think they moved our lights around and changed them on. Right.
Shall I move them closer for you, my darling?
No, it's all right. We'll deal with it.
All right. Okay.
Atmospheric.
Who is talking about the first bit of paranormal waffle?
Paranormal waffle.
I think that's a different show.
It's a different show, isn't it?
All right.
Waffle.
Well, I will begin.
Do we really want to start with you? Maybe I should start because I'll be the least violent maybe out of all of you.
I'm not violent.
All right, go ahead.
I've got to try and remember it all now because I didn't get the chance to write it
Kick the
down.
dog. Excuse
I
me.
was going to talk to you this evening about my paranormal side of the business, which is Oz Paratech. So, as most of you know, I own the largest paranormal equipment store in the Southern Hemisphere online, and I sell the equipment that the creators and the inventors make. And it is in America. So with the current situation in America,
Just shit. Never mind.
we have many people saying that we should boycott American goods because of the tariffs that are being placed. And that leads to certain struggles for a business like my own, which the creators of the paranormal equipment are from America, and I import the equipment from America. So if I end up with the tariff on top, that means our prices are going to go up, and that we also have to put the GST on top. The exchange rate is absolutely crap, and I'm at the stage and I'm wondering if it's all worthwhile, to tell you the truth, because by the time I get anything out of this, I would be lucky to get 10% of the cost of the good. And there are so many other expenses that's virtually soaked up as well. Then I have issues with people who claim who are doing what they call a chargeback, where they say, I never sent the equipment, I've been fraudulent, and they contact their bank and they want their money back. Now, all of the equipment and parcels I send out are always sent with a tracking number. And I received one of these when we were in Norfolk Island last week, and I went into a meltdown because I had received one before, and I could actually prove that that parcel had been delivered. I could show that it had been delivered, but they still refunded the customer. How is that fair? Do the banks even give a shit, really? Because they're not going to assume the responsibility. Why is it me that can prove I delivered the item left with the bill? So not only do we end up with the piece of equipment that I sent, which I paid for, disappearing, but then they will take another lot back out, and then I get hit with a fine for doing the wrong thing. And then after that, I also get black banned from Google Shop, for being a disreputable seller. How does this work? So it's happened again, where I can show that the parcel was delivered. I worked out that this one spirit box, if they refund this person, which I don't think they can this time because we've got photos of where it was delivered and everything. We've got a bit more information. I would be out of pocket $600. How is that fair to a micro business?
It's not.
It's fucking not.
It's not.
Excuse the French, I'm really angry about this. So not only am I facing these tariffs and people saying don't buy from America, don't buy American goods, but I've got dickheads like this who are wanting chargebacks, claiming they didn't get it. And this dude got stroppy with me. I ordered it for Christmas and you didn't deliver. I needed it for a Christmas present. You didn't give it to me. Well, it turns out that it got delivered 4 days, and that was the weekend after they'd ordered it, well and truly before Christmas. And because I was in a panic on Norfolk Island, I'm sort of saying, I'm so sorry, I can't access the information I have says it's pending. I don't know what's happened. And mind you, this was 4 months ago, and they're only just flagging it now. Is that even a little bit suspicious? So once I realised it had been delivered and I could show this line of delivery of how it worked in the photo, I then reached out to him and said, here is the information. I did do what I was meant to do, and I am removing all offers of refunding you this item or sending you another one, and I will be forwarding all this information onto the bank. And they've very suddenly gone quiet. But will the bank do the right thing by me, or will I get shafted yet again and therefore another black mark against my name? But I haven't finished with my gripe. Right. Let me explain something to you, those people who are asking for frickin' freebies. I will get people quite regularly email me and say, I'm starting up a YouTube channel and I'm going to be doing some investigations, and I would love to demonstrate your products if you send me some free ones. Sorry, you're starting up a YouTube channel? You don't have an existing presence? For me to recover the cost of a $200 item, say I make $20 on that item, that person would need to sell 11 of those to cover the costs for a channel that they don't even have. Now, it's okay to ask the creators and the inventors for that sort of thing. That's fine. But I am a reseller. Very minimal profits. And I'm trying to keep the cost down for the Australians so that we can get equipment at a reasonable cost. I just don't think I can do it anymore. I'm either going to have to put the prices up dramatically to cover things like these chargebacks, and then people want discounts on things. I understand that. It doesn't hurt to ask. But for me to do discounts on items, I have to up the price of items to cover the discounts. So what do we do, people? You are the good ones. You are the ones that are here and doing the right thing. If you hear of a friend or someone who goes, oh, I just got the best deal because I put in a complaint about something, let them know that they're affecting people and their livelihoods. Please say that's the wrong thing to do. It's great to get a freebie, but let's do it under the right circumstances.
I think people don't realise just how much, well, in your case, you have to pay for goods to actually come out here to Australia, and how much the goods actually cost.
So I'm paying the US postage, which is not cheap.
And they're costing even more, like continuously those prices are going up.
And they're held now at customs where I have to pay the GST, which is fine because the GST is passed on. But I then get charged a fee because they've held it.
Which is not your fault. So the
post them a frozen turd.
Yeah, I guess the issue is so, and I talked about this with you before, where I said, I said, is it a possibility to stop bringing stuff in from America until this tariff stuff is sorted out?
It could be 4 years.
And what you said to me was, it could be 4 years. And then if you stop, will they give you the products to sell back once it goes back to its normal price? Or
I could lose my distributorship.
Yeah.
But it's also not even a fact of 4 years. Once something like this is put into law, it has to go pass through Senate and everything to get repealed as well. It's not like
it happens overnight.
Like that. It's a long-term thing.
Yeah. So you're faced with the fact of trying to source equipment elsewhere, which if you do, then you are going to
my distributorship.
You lose your distributorship, but it's kind of heading that way anyway.
And I want to support the creators and the makers because there is something else that I'm going to have a quick whinge about.
There's more?
There's more. So we are all very familiar with the good old K2, yeah?
Which you can now get on Temu for $12.
Yeah. So what has happened is they make knockoff copies of the K2 and they sell it on Temu or AliExpress or wherever it is you get your local Chinese cheap shit from. And we have some beautiful people who use them, and the lights on them are so bright that they light up the whole freaking room. So you're sort of left going like this in the dark because it's so bright that if you looked at how they were made, they're completely different. But the thing that's happened is the makers of the K2 have gone out of business.
They've gone out of business, yeah.
We talked about last time we were here.
Yeah. So this is another problem, is that I'm trying to support the creators, the inventors, who invest a lot of money into creating this with the possibility of no return. So when they get the chance to make a return, good on them. They're bringing something new to the community. And then we've got people making the cheap rip-offs, and businesses are going bankrupt. Why? They're not going to bother making anything new, because why should they?
So people are going to get really dodgy stuff or try and, like they've done with the SLS camera, which, you know, does cost a lot of money. And so they put together, you know, the...
Oh, Bill spent 6 figures on creating that thing.
And then they all go, well, this is paranormal because, you know, it's an Xbox game.
I ripped apart my Xbox.
Yeah, and it's paranormal. So that kind of takes everything a back step or a step back when it comes to using equipment with the paranormal. We may have to source some things from
Please ask questions.
England,
More than happy to questions.
or somewhere
But
else
again,
for a while.
That's not who makes.
No, it's not.
So
but,
therefore,
you know, what are you going to do as a business? What are you going to do as a business?
Well, I either have to keep importing it and hoping people will buy it, because once I give up my distributorship, I don't get it back. And there are plenty of other people in Australia who would jump into my shoes very quickly and take over to spite me.
But
I worked too freaking hard to get this. So
perhaps it's worth a conversation with the people that you...
Yeah.
Because this is not...
And I can tell you that...
It's not a micro problem. This is a macro problem for the whole world.
The sales for OzParatech have plummeted in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Plummeted.
Everyone's dollar's gone to shit.
Yep.
Yep.
Wonder why.
So that's my gripe. Now I've done that, I'll hand over to
well, should we answer this question?
Oh, right. Okay,
first?
I've got a question.
Came through.
Yeah.
From Big Ben.
Right, Big Ben.
Yep.
I love the paranormal and I've had experiences, but is it wrong for me to believe in doing an investigation without the equipment, as I don't believe in using ghost toys? Is that wrong of me? Absolutely not. There's different ways to investigate. People quite often use the equipment incorrectly. That's my biggest issue with it, is that a lot of them are environmental sensors. And what you're doing is you're trying to detect changes in the environment, not ghosts. It's thought that the product of an entity being present may change the environmental factors, and it might be a trigger or a highlight to say something is going on that shouldn't be going on now. And there are people who are quite happy to sit in the dark and just listen. And I'm one of those people. I love sitting in the dark in a haunted location just going, can't believe I'm here. This is fabulous. I wonder if anything will happen. And I just use my eyes and my ears.
now,
I sell the equipment.
and Big Ben, when we do paranormal investigations for the public, they expect
They want to use
technology.
Yeah.
So
That's what they
we
said,
take out, I mean, how much worth of technology do we take out on a ghost tour?
Somewhere between, depending on the gear that we take, $3,000 to $5,000 worth.
Yeah, so $3,000 to $5,000 worth, and that's not a lot. It's not a lot at all. But because people watch YouTube and they see all the modern equipment, they see the TV shows,
They mimic.
they expect technology to be there, and that's one of the problems. And I mean, if we were just running a business where we're going out there and shooting for ourselves in places where we're buying one piece of equipment or two pieces of equipment and we are handling them, then that's a different story. But when you're trying to supply the country with paranormal equipment and it's now becoming too expensive for you to bring into the country in the first place, then that is a problem, because you cannot run a business where you're putting in more money than you're getting back.
It's also a question for going back to the question.
I'll come back to you, Shane.
Sorry, Shane. It's how you use it, because it's not just because it's technology doesn't mean it is infallible, as you said. It's atmospheric, it's environmental stuff, but in conjunction with what you already do is the way that we use it. We don't ever say that just because the K2 is going off, that's definitely a ghost trying to communicate with us, because it can turn the light red if it happens when we ask questions and it interacts. That's something interesting. It's not necessarily paranormal. It's the way that you use these items that really informs it. So it's really down to you as to how you, if and how you want to use it. Because on the other hand, a lot of people can say, well, your personal experience is just your personal experience. That's not proof.
And a lot of that, like we've just done a True Hauntings podcast, which is why we're also running a bit late, where the whole podcast, the whole experience is just people's personal experiences. I couldn't find any much in the way of investigations or history or anything. So that was interesting. All right, so hang on, let me go back up to, so Big Ben said, yes, I'm one to sit and observe natural sounds, natural silence, easy for me to tell what's normal and what's plausible and so on. My hope is that with some of the paranormal equipment, when people come and do it on tours, is that they want to know more. I am very guilty of buying the next latest gadget to play with, and I get it, and I'm very disappointed.
But you're buying it so that you can see whether it's worthwhile putting into the field. And
there is some stuff that I won't put in my store.
There might be some in that cupboard right over there.
There is.
The thing is, that we have been doing this. I mean, you've been providing all the technology for tours, for Newcastle Ghost Tours, for probably about 7-8 years now. And we have not added that many to the kit that we normally take. We haven't. No. We've tried a few things. They really haven't worked.
The only thing that we've really kind of stuck with is the tripwire.
Yeah, the tripwire is probably the newest thing that we have added, and
that can play up.
Yeah, and a lot of things that are available. A lot of things that are available are rarely K2 meters in different clothing.
Yep,
they're still a K2 meter, but they're just wrapped differently.
This one's in a circle.
There's some equipment being made in Australia which looks fabulous, but it's all EMF.
Yeah.
And if you're not an EMF person.
Yeah, which I'm not. All right, so let's get on to Shane, who said, I don't understand what Renata said about the SLS. Can you explain the SLS for dummies? So SLS stands for Structured Light Sensor, and it is what's inside an Xbox when you play
the motion capture
interactive games with the console. So if you're holding the thing which is meant to be a tennis racket and you're moving around and things, there is a box that is monitoring your movements and mapping you as a stick figure. So it knows where your head is, your hands, your arms, etc. So it can react in time
tell me to do this
with the game. So that when you do this, it hits the ball or punches someone or whatever it is. Bill Chappell created the SLS X-Cam, which is based on that technology, but with a hell of a lot more sensors in there. I don't know if I still got it over there. When I used to teach this stuff, I would get one of those old pin things where you could put your hand on it and it would leave the imprint of your hand sitting there. It's sort of like that, where there's all these little pinpoints of light, and if something disrupts that pinpoint of light, it would map it in. and that's the one he spent 6 figures developing. So it, as I said, is based on the concept of that. So some people have taken that from the Xbox and put it in with a screen and are using that as the same camera, but it's not the same.
It's a weaker way of mapping because it's still going to pick up stick figures. But if you have a lounge with a certain frame, that can be picked up as a stick figure. If there's a pillow in there or something, it'll pick it up and it'll create a stick figure out of it. And so it's not actually a ghost. It's just framing whatever looks closely resembling a stick figure of a person.
And the SLS was never designed, Bill's SLS was never designed to be walked around as a handheld thing, which a lot of the ghost hunting TV shows do.
Mm-hmm.
It was meant to be on a tripod and not moved. Again, great bit of gear not being used correctly. Sorry, there's a few little... Oh, Joanne, thank you so much. Oh, you're beautiful.
Oh, thank you, Joanne. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so the people that are using the SLS, the Xbox as an SLS, it's not the same. Right. There are SLS apps now utilizing LiDAR and camera sensors. Oh, don't even get me started on LiDAR.
But this is another reason why people who are developing products are finding it really, really difficult to compete with apps that are also being created. There are hundreds of apps for your camera, your mobile phone, and hundreds of them. Yeah,
it's really important too that when you're discussing the differences of these apps and equipment, that you do so respectfully for the people who might be using it for the first time or are inexperienced. You don't yell at them, go, "Oh, you're stupid, you don't know what you're doing." You just... As I was explaining to someone on Norfolk, I said, "Oh, you just got to be careful of this app because it's going to give you words with the location because it accesses location and Google and your microphone. So it's cheating a little bit." And they went, "Oh, I didn't know that." But if you go in and say, "Oh, you're stupid," using that sort of stuff, then you're not educating. I think it's really important to educate. Taylor, did I put yours up? Do you allow people to bring their own equipment on your tours? I'm planning on traveling to Newcastle, hopefully this year, to be able to attend some of your tours. We don't mind people bringing their own equipment, but I would...
You're going to go there. Okay.
I would do a tour where there is a lot of free time because we are fairly structured because we have a 2-hour experience in most of the places we go to, that we have to move a lot of people who don't have equipment through different locations to give them a chance of using equipment. We can't let people go off by themselves into areas, as it's not safe. We have the responsibility not only for your physical being, but to the property.
And also, just from a tour guide point of view, if we are using the piece of equipment and then other people break out the same equipment or complementary equipment that may distract from what we're trying to do, it gets a bit confusing for the rest of... It's like talking on a phone in a group of people.
Yeah, like there's somebody's trying to listen to someone talking.
Like if someone's trying to talk and we've all got Spirit Talker open.
Yeah, and I don't mind people using Spirit Talker, but I say put it on silent.
I don't mind if we are all going to go, okay, cool, we're going to use 2 Spirit Talkers, make it happen. Don't just assume that everything's okay.
Yeah,
as we usually have very set activities as to what we're going to do and what we want to achieve for you guys coming on the talk, because at the end of the day, it's about offering you the best opportunity, the best experience that you can, and putting you in the spots where you may experience something. So if you're automatically whipping it out and doing something else, it kind of negates the purpose of being on the tour.
The best bet is to come on a tour, as you said, that offers some free time at the end.
Because we've got one coming up, Tommy Go House.
Yes, Tommy Go House.
Which is 4 hours. So look out for 4 hours. And that will give you time to work with your own equipment as well.
Whip it out.
Although maybe this is something you consider, Renata, is that if people were willing to pay for the hire of the location and our time, then they would be able to book out the location for themselves. But it's not going to be cheap.
You'll find out how expensive it is. It's just like it. So let's talk. Well, put it in the frame of what we used to do at Maitland Jail for the overnights. We had X, Y, and Z planned up until this time, and then they had free time for 4 hours now, 4 or 5 hours, and we were just there to assist or do something for like that. We were
no, it's such a
doing.
huge venue. You could do that.
But we don't have another Maitland Jail.
We don't have
another Maitland Jail. So the 23 people that are on here right now, please send a message
Send
to
46 emails each to Maitland City Council
and say, bring back the jail.
And there is another group who is openly saying they're going to be taking that contract away from Renata. So we need to make sure that Renata keeps it.
Anywho.
All
right. So any other questions that have come from that? There is an SLS app, Lisa says. Yes. And pardon me, we have a great, lovely couple from Australia. Amy's Cribbed. Amy's Cribbed.
Renata needs a kip.
Amy and Jared, who have created their own, app and equipment, and that's fabulous. They use it on their show. They show people how it works, and they make a great sort of impression with that.
They're also doing it for an educational purpose.
Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. But yeah, when you're trying to sell people stuff from America, that's just going to be hard.
Yeah. And you have an announcement, I do believe. Are you going to do that?
Oh, yes.
Are we going to do it now, or are you going to make them wait?
Yes, no.
A new venue?
Yes, we have a new venue, and the first tour is going to come up next month. And people who are of a certain age may know this venue by a very, very different name, as in the King's Theatre. It has been known as Lizottes for many, many, many years, and now it is known as Flamingos.
It
is in is it New Lambton? New Lambton. And we are having our first tour there next month. I haven't put tickets up yet. It is going to be a weeknight event because we're fitting in between the grand things that are going on at Flamingos and the big names that are coming in to do theatre shows and things like that. So we have been allowed to fit in between. So it will probably be a Wednesday or a Thursday night that the tour is available. It's going to be a 2-hour tour. And the tickets for that will be going live next week.
Now, what do you have to tell people about the availability of the tickets for this one? Because it's slightly different to the other tours as well. It's not a huge number of people.
No, it's
very limited.
It's only going to be a boutique experience for sure. Probably about 15 people maximum. We want to keep it nice and small in numbers.
And it is a known haunted location.
There are stories, which is a good thing. And it's well known to the Novocastrians, and it's fantastic that a venue that has been there since 1993 is still there, and it's being run by someone who is local, that cares about the history of the place, and as well as the people that want to come there and the artists that want to come there. So there is a huge performance history there. There's a history of films, music, all of that kind of stuff. And we went and had a little reconnaissance mission, and there's going to be we're looking at offering some really interesting stuff, some different stuff. So if you can come, make sure that you keep your eyes out. It will be as popular as you make it, people. So when it comes up and you go, tickets, that might cost a little bit, know that every dollar that you spend on this will make sure that it continues, because it will only continue if it's worthwhile doing. And with the amount of numbers, you'll get access to these guys a lot more than you would on a regular tour. You'll get time to actually do some really, I think, more quality investigation than with No, with a group of 30 people.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know,
yeah,
it's
not that we
hard.
ever
It's
do
hard
that.
when it's a group of 30 when you've got first timers and Uncle Barry who doesn't want to be there and someone's 12-year-old that's pretending to be 16. This is
Oh,
going to
yes.
be. This is going to be for the diehards, I think, and it'll be very rewarding. So just make sure that when the tickets come up, don't talk about it. Buy them.
Buy the tickets.
Maitland
Sorry.
Jail was one of the ones that was wheelchair friendly. Flamingos,
Not so much.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Not a great deal.
It's lots
Probably
of
just down the
stairs.
downstairs. That would be
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
There's even stairs to get up into the venue, isn't there?
Front. One you could get, yeah. It'd be accessible but not friendly, I would say.
This is something that we are very aware of. I am working on a venue in Sydney that will be definitely wheelchair friendly. Hopefully we can get Mark back out there with us, and we'll keep you posted.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
Okay. I just want to step in with something that I saw over the last couple of weeks.
Stepping in.
And if you knew about it, if you've watched Kyle and Jackie O.
Irene, how are you? Irene's from Japan. Hi.
Hello, Irene. I haven't
It's
seen
been
you
a
for
long time.
ages. So if you know of Kyle and Jackie O, who doesn't? We were on that show many, many years ago, and we were investigating Kyle and Jackie O's house for paranormal activity. And it's been something that they do on their show every so often. And recently there was a lady that called up who was having a lot of paranormal activity in her home after her husband died. Has anyone seen these shows? Now, they were recorded, and there were 3 ladies that were brought in that were called the Mystic Mums. Mystic Mums. So this is an Australian group of ladies, psychics. They're called the Mystic Mums, and they were brought out.
Leslie as well. Hello.
And they were brought out to investigate this time at this lady's house. Now,
Not dramatic enough.
I'm reporting from the perspective that I did not and was not able to listen to the lady's initial story of what was going on in the house, so I really don't know that. I've only caught up with the recordings of the Mystic Mums in the house.
The TikTok.
That's been on Instagram and TikTok. And
They said they're in Newcastle too.
yes.
Yes.
And boy, oh boy, it was certainly dramatic. It was dramatic. There were at least 3 demons. 2 of them were under the house. And one of the things that I saw, so I'm just going to report straight from what I saw that from the recording. I'm going to try and stay neutral.
No, she's not.
And this one poor lady goes straight under the house saying that they burnt there, which I'm assuming is they burnt sage or something. I'm not clear. I have seen them walking around and stuff.
But they just said they burned under the house.
They burned under the house. But she said that she saw 2 demonic entities down there. One's a draggled lady and then a child, I think. They were both murdered, and they're under this house.
They're
now,
buried.
I've been under the house. I've been under houses before. I have been under houses where people have said that things have been. So I've gone in and I've gone, yeah, let me take a look. And so she's been under there, and all of a sudden, all hell breaks loose. And she gets overcome. There's a guy under there with her who tries to pull her out. They can't pull her out. One of the team comes and starts spraying stuff to spray away the demons.
I'd be spraying for redbacks if I were you.
Whatever it is, loosens its grip, and she gets pulled out, and then they discover she has 3 scratches on her head. We won't mention the fact that they were very, very close to the pipes under the house. When they were going in under, and there could possibly have been a moment where the demons struck her in the head with one of those water pipes, possibly.
You see her hit the water pipe?
No, it was a demon that did that. You don't know. You just don't know. But anyway, that was one thing. Now, there's another thing. Oh, it's glorious. You have to watch this. I'll try and put up a link after this because I think we all need to see it so that you can make up your mind what's going on. The other one is when they're in the shower.
I didn't see that one. Oh,
They're in the shower. And
are they having a shower? Or?
no, what's she doing? She was doing something. She got one of the others got overcome.
She was like trancy, wasn't she?
Yeah, and she whacked her head on the soap.
On the soap dispenser.
Oh my God, I felt it.
Yeah.
I felt it crack her head on it, and that all went pear-shaped there as well.
And that became demonic as well.
Yeah,
It was a demonic attack.
yeah,
that soap dispenser jumped out and whacked up.
Yeah. So
There was that pub olive lady.
Madge.
Madge, the ghost of Madge.
I've worked.
No,
with
I've
Madge.
worked with Madge too. I whacked her over the head with a frying pan.
Well, there you go. She's come back. Well,
but-
ghost hunters, Madge.
But at the end of it all, they said that they cleared the whole thing out. I'm not sure how many demons they cleared out. They cleared it all out and said the lady is safe to come back to the house and live in the house. I would love to know what's going on there now. Has everything been resolved? Because the other possibility of it all is that the poor partner that's passed over was trying to reach out to his wife in some way and say, honey, I'm okay. I'm okay. I want you to know I'm okay. I might be like, someone might say you're delusional. That's okay. But I have never seen anything like this that they put on Kyle and Jackie O. And it was bigger than, it was a maths episode.
And I know that someone said, why didn't they ask us? We were actually called for the first one where they had something happen in the kitchen, but we were on Norfolk Island. And so they had to go with someone else.
Sorry.
And then I think we may have missed another call, and they ended up on with the Mystic Mums, friends of Jackie's. So,
they're friends of Jackie's, so,
yeah. But it's once they've had a response like that, they won't go back to us because we're not dramatic.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
It depends on how you want to consume your product at the end of the day. A lot of people love the Zach Baggins school of ghost hunting where everything's a demon and everything's resolved in a half hour, 40 minute, nice little bundle, and that's all good. If you're there for entertainment, yes, okay, cool. I'm not disputing what they say they experienced.
I think these ladies believed what was going on.
They may have definitely experienced something, but if it's an investigation,
it's not.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But if Kyle and Jackie or whoever, because I'm not going to, limit it to just them. If they are saying it's an investigation to just show what you say is happening, it's not an investigation.
No, they're just recounting their personal beliefs and experiences
to go
based
back
on
to,
their biases.
To go back to Ben's, like the question with Ben, how it's a matter of actually doing like Renata does. Do research about the location, about the people that are there, find out what's going on in these people's lives that they think that automatically there's demon grandmas and demon children underneath their house.
Why would there be bodies buried? And my first thing I said to Renata is, well, dig them up.
Yeah.
If there's people buried there,
call the police.
Go dig a hole and then call the police if you find the bodies.
Call the police. Get the cadaver dogs out.
Yeah, that's the first step.
That would be the first thing.
There are a lot of lost people around. So,
confirmation. Well, to put it in context of Australian history, how many places have the Beaumont kids been said to be buried? And everyone goes, I know they're there. I know they're there. Until you get a bone in your hand
and DNA
that matches X, Y, and Z, then you can't definitively say that this is this person doing that. And if you're coming to paranormal investigation for certainty, I don't think it's the right field for you. You need to watch those TV shows. and
And
go,
just,
"Oh,
just
okay."
stay in your lounge room.
I think I raised the whole issue with that show because it freaked me out. It freaked me out, the amount of, like, I don't know whether the lady was in there while they were recording this, but if she was,
How
she would
traumatic.
be traumatized to the nth
She's
degree.
just missing her husband.
She would be completely, I would not be living in that house. I don't care.
Irene makes a very good point about Zach as well. She said Zach came to Japan and no one cares about him and he wasn't well received and he went back to America. We have no vital records. I know what's going on, but I'm not helping him. Cultural difference is a huge thing as well.
Absolutely.
You can't just barge into, because you don't know what that woman's religion is, what her belief system is, and you're going to go,
What her
these
mental
are
state is.
demons.
Yeah.
These are demons in your house where you have to live and your family has to exist.
Yeah. And
It's-
she's just lost a partner.
It's very,
It's deep grief for the
it's a
whole
little
family.
bit careless, I would say.
Insensitive.
Careless to put
So-
that into someone's mind without knowing.
So there are a couple of culprits there. I don't necessarily blame the ladies as such, but they were. It was all orchestrated for the show, and we know what it's like to try and get anything whatsoever from the point of view of sensing anything when you are surrounded by a dozen cameras
On a time limit.
and people down your throat going, do something that's super fabulous so we can get something to put on TV. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, otherwise you don't get paid.
So, there
Or
was
us
a
back.
necessity. There was a necessity for something to happen, and it happened. But it just makes me feel really quite awkwardly unwell. So yeah, that's just my thing.
But
That's a paranormal hot seat from me. But my suggestion is go. It's on.
do your own research.
Yeah,
We'll try to get Renata to pop the links up.
Yeah,
so you
I'll
can have
pop
a
the
look.
link up. You look for yourself, and
TikTok it.
yeah, just see what.
I think we should do a reaction video to it.
See what you feel. Oh, we need to get the whole video and sit, and we
And,
might
and again,
do that for Grand Poobahs.
let's put a little bit more onus on editing and
Yeah.
as we say when we do tours, a paranormal entertainment show
Yep.
is hours, if not days,
Mm.
of investigation.
And
It's not
footage.
2 hours. It's footage and music and background information and all of this that creates that narrative.
My feet are getting sweaty. I've got to get my shoes
Oh,
off.
she's freaking out. She's getting sweaty feet.
And it's a build up. That's the way they do it.
Gotta ground
It's a
yourself.
build up to a point where something has to
Let's
happen.
sit in some grass, please.
And and so it's very, very different to the reality.
All right,
of
we need
things.
to get on to Cousin Steve.
Yes, Cousin Steve.
Mine's not this dramatic. I feel like it's been high drama.
Well, it's paranormal hot seat. We're supposed to be a bit more dramatic.
It will
here.
have. I'd have some questions though. So, for that, we did tackle this a little bit last time, but there's been added information. I've got a couple of updates. We talked about our old friends up here. Lorraine.
Right.
Last, the Exorcist. Wrong franchise. The Conjuring Last Rites
Mhm.
is on its way. Recently, very recently, there has been a report saying that this movie is the end of
Yes.
phase 1 of the Conjuring universe.
Phase 1.
So they think, I
There's
think
more?
that they think that they're turning into Marvel. They're making a Conjuring cinematic universe, which they have already done. We have Annabelle and her 17 movies. We have The
Oh,
Nun and
poor
her 17
Annabelle.
movies. We have The Curse of La Llorona.
Mhm.
Not many people like that. I thought that was one of the best ones, actually. But they're saying this is the end of phase 1
I'm
of the
terrified.
Conjuring universe.
What's
Now,
next?
way back in the Wayback Machine, if you remember Spooky Sundays
Yeah.
and, our little creepy corner,
Yes.
we talked about the Conjuring TV show that is in development.
Oh.
I think it's already been ordered to series, though. So it is already getting a season. Now, massive spoiler, if you for real life, Ed dies.
Oh,
Yeah. So
He has
The-
a heart attack. It
The
wasn't that he was
Conjuring-
overweight or unfit.
The
It was a
Conjuring
demon.
last rites and him signing off and doing a very big farewell to Vera Farmiga and all this, his on-screen wife, would suggest to me that this is the last movie that Patrick Wilson will be involved in moving forward, instead of multi-million-dollar movies that take X, Y, and Z to produce. We're going to whack Vera in an 8-episode series and flog her out until she doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah.
So
but you've also got other members of the family that they can use.
exactly that.
Yeah.
One of the original quotes from the studio behind it said, "There is enough material in the Warren files to keep content coming for the next 30 years."
Far out.
Is that something that people are still interested in?
Yes.
Given that from the last Conjuring movie to this next one, it seems the tide has turned a lot with the public finding out a bit more information. You guys have done your part, and all over everywhere else, everyone knows a little bit more about the activities behind closed doors in the
With
Warren house.
Underage young ladies.
Yes.
Against their will.
Is this something that people are going to go back to?
Yes.
You think?
Yes, I do, unfortunately.
Because there's
it's
other
entertainment.
big name stars who have had the finger pointed at them for nefarious activities that are worse, and people still supported them.
Yeah.
I just think it's because the onward Christian soldiers, mighty warriors of God, that they are portrayed as in the movies, quite different to.
Jesus loved the little
So are
children,
you
but not like that.
Jeremiah says, "I love the movies for being movies. They're great. I would love a TV series, but how do we take this when everything is prefaced with based on a true story?" Because what they're showing in the films, regardless of the paranormal activity,
based on what they've told you,
is not the true story of the Warrens. So does, like our last story, does entertainment trump truth?
Yes.
Yes, it does.
Does.
Sadly.
And truth is forgotten in all of this, and truth is twisted until it fits the narrative of the entertainment. And so what do people remember? Storytelling is a great thing. We have always learnt this, that it's the storytelling that wins the public. It's the storytelling that people remember. And if you can't tell a good story, it is lost. It is no matter how many facts you put in, if it is not a good story, it is lost.
Hang on, it's not a good yarn. It's not even necessarily a story.
Yeah.
A story can still have elements. A yarn is,
And so, unfortunately, what do people remember? People remember that the Amityville house was infested with demons. They don't remember the fact that, there were newspapers and all of those articles and everything that said maybe not. And maybe that it was all created.
To further that point, if you're interested in the Amityville story, then go watch My Amityville Horror, which is the youngest son's recount of what happened to him post all of this. There is a reality behind all of these stories that a lot of people aren't willing to tell unless it's dressed up in a spooky little package.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting. We might have
I have it if you want to watch it. It's very, very interesting. I do have something else, and it's a question for the people out there. Now on Oz Paratech, I do a thought for Thursday, every Thursday, just to
Steve is my content creator on Oz Paratech.
Sometimes it's good, sometimes you guys get very feisty, and I love it. And it's good. This one seems to have stirred up a couple of different opinions. So today's question or thought was, which famous or infamous spirit would you like to contact and why? I'm going to go through a couple of the answers because I'm going to save the best for last. But Thomas says Marilyn Monroe. I agree. I would just like to experience just that mind, because you know so much about a legend and an icon that there is a person behind it. Sharon says, Ivy Northridge, psychic medium. I want her to be my friend. Lurking Lisa says Nikola Tesla, to discuss theories. Imagine his insight now.
I'd like him to get his opinion on the local.
His namesake. Dave, the man, says early 1900s Sydney underworld figures Kate Lee or Tilly Devine.
Ooh.
Just to say hi. And then their memory lives on in history. Donna says Ned Kelly. Kel says Lizzie Borden. Cheryl says Elizabeth I, to ask her why. Catherine Linda says Nostradamus for many reasons and hope that I could talk to him for a while about stuff. Joe Burns says Raymond Rife. And then Andrew Carhill says, Dear Holy Spirit, what the fuck? And I think that's the best one. So if you have an answer, we would love to hear, the people, the spirits that you'd like to contact. Do you guys have anyone that you would like to speak with? Infamous or famous? Everyone always goes, my mum, my grandma. But
I'd have to think about it. My brain's not working terribly well at the moment. But it would be somebody who was mysteriously murdered.
I would Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia. There you go.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Houdini.
Oh yes.
Houdini from the other side. Wouldn't that be interesting?
Houdini.
Aleister Crowley.
Oh, sticky.
Oh.
I want to know how much he had to drink to just get all those fluids out all the time. So sticky in the Crowley house.
Every sperm is sacred.
That's your juice, Renata.
Boleskine House is being revamped and ready for the public. So there you go. That's where he did all his work. Hey, we share a birthday, Alistair.
You and Alistair are buddies.
We're like that.
Natalie Wood, yeah, we need the answer. Oh, well, I think we all know the answer there. But, I would like some revenge for Natalie Wood. Like Frances Farmer, she deserves her
Hello,
revenge.
Rhea. Welcome.
Florida. Oh, God. Laura Bama Shores.
Hope you're doing well.
Grace Kelly.
Yeah.
These are good. Princess Diana.
Oh, yes.
Everyone talks to Princess Diana.
Yes.
We don't have a crystal box, though.
I'd love to. Yeah, I'd love to sit down for a cup of tea with Princess Diana. That would be good.
Yeah. I loved watching the videos of her with the boys and
having
joining in
so
as
much
a
fun.
real mum.
Yeah.
Loved it. Neil Armstrong.
Yeah. He's not dead yet. So
interesting if there'd be something that came out afterwards, a release of information.
Well, apparently we're so close to, Revelation Day of, all that.
Oh, which one?
It's coming. Oh, about the aliens.
Yes.
Oh.
Have you seen the guy on TikTok? Hello. He's bald. His voice is so soothing. He's like, we are already.
No, there's a new episode from
Disclosure is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, from the Australian fellow who is doing the UFO stuff. What's his name? Coulthard.
Ross
Coulthard.
He used to be on
there's
60
a new show,
Minutes.
and he actually talks to a whistleblower who has said, like this guy has said, everyone knows that there have been aliens here for a very long time.
Well, it's time to step in.
They have a number. Yes,
just
please
quietly.
do something. Please.
They may already have.
They can't afford to come here with the tariffs anymore.
Please do something about what's going on.
International tariffs are high. Imagine interdimensional ones.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
I don't know about that. What about the Russian soldiers turned to stone by aliens? They shot down their UFO. I didn't know about that.
Oh, what about Anastasia Romanoff? Oh, she'd be a good one to talk
My
to.
husband Roman and our son Alex are over in Poland right now, very near the Russian border. I'm a little stressed. There was something put out the other day saying that all the Europe people need to have 3 days of supplies put together because war is imminent.
That's not going to help once the bombs drop. Sorry.
The only thing I said is that I'm really glad that Alex is with my husband because Alex is army trained.
And Roman,
and they're in a forest so they can go hide.
Let's be honest, Roman could probably talk them into submission anyway.
And so we give up. Stop talking.
Well, peace because of this man.
Oh, yeah. Dearie me. So, yes.
Well,
I think that's it.
that's it. We've reached the end. I hope you've enjoyed the Paranormal Hot Seat, where we all get
It's been feisty.
a little bit hot under the collar as we tell you what we really think. As promised, we will keep bringing you content every Thursday night at 8:30 p.m. Sydney Australian time. And we were in Norfolk Island for the last 2 weeks, so we had some videos that went live. I hope you enjoyed those, but it wasn't your week.
No, but I wasn't on Norfolk
No,
Island.
he wasn't. He wasn't.
Have you been?
No.
Oh, you need to come.
Never been.
You need
No,
to
it's
come.
beautiful.
How's the tariffs on Norfolk?
Oh, yeah, they copped it as well. 36% or something ridiculous.
Would you like $17 milk?
It was $12. Thank you very much. For a litre.
because fresh milk is flown in, they can't. They don't.
UHT.
There's UHT everywhere. If you want fresh milk,
Get
it
a
was
cow.
$12 for a litre.
Who wants milk that
They're
badly?
not supposed to sell their milk because it has to be pasteurized. That's the
Monogenized
problem.
or something. I don't
It
know.
had to be pasteurized, and they would have had to bring all, because there were so many cows on Norfolk
Norfolk.
that it would be easy to have.
They had a dairy. They had
Yeah.
a dairy, but the Australian government said no. You've got to.
You've got to buy our milk.
You got to process it
Sounds
this way.
familiar.
They can't.
Yeah.
They can't.
It sounds familiar.
Bloody stupid. All right, we need to get off. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for commenting, and share it around if you can. And
Thanks
we
for
will
the
be.
donation /
And
stars.
thank
as
you,
well.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. And we will be back on next Thursday. I can't remember what part of the month we're up to. Is this week 3 or?
Yeah, I think it's the third week.
It must be tarot next
Every
week.
third week.
Yeah, we'll be on to tarot next week. Yeah, and sorry about the 5G or what's going on. It's probably, we've had a lot of rain around here. Might be the aliens. But guys,
It's the course correcting cube.
oh my god! I am going to update the Grand Poobahs because we've got a couple of new ones that we've got to add in there. But we'll say thank you to our Grand Poobahs, our Patreon supporters, and our coffee buyers for everything that they do as well.
Happy Easter, everyone.
Happy Easter! Don't eat too
Enjoy
much
the
chocolate.
day Jesus died. For all of our sins, pray.
I'm going to be on the cross for a long time for
Tell him he
Mabel,
can blow it
or-
out his ass.
Love you all.